this morning, the stock market reacting a bit muted, but although favorably ever since that decision came down at 10 o'clock this morning when the court struck down the president's far-reaching global tariffs, a big loss to the White House on an issue crucial to his economic agenda. It was a 6-3 decision centering on some of the big tariffs on countries that he unilaterally imposed under an Emergency Powers Act that was first written into law under Jimmy Carter back in the 1970s. And that included the sweeping reciprocal tariffs that the White House levied on nearly every other country, including 35% on Canada all the way down to 10% on some other countries. We're starting to get some reaction right now, including from Senator Raphael Warnock from Georgia. And I'm reading this to you as I'm first getting it. He says, this ruling is welcome relief for families who are struggling with higher prices as a direct result of this president's policies. I hope that instead of pursuing other avenues to impose these expensive taxes on Americans, the president centers the people and works to make life more affordable. Affordability has been a big topic. In fact, President Trump spoke on it just yesterday on his visit here to Rome, Georgia, when he spoke with some small businesses. He actually went to the Varsity at one point, ordered some burgers for folks on Air Force One. And you're looking at video, in fact, from the Varsity, President Trump arriving yesterday afternoon to Rome, Georgia. We have not yet heard reaction from the president this morning after we got this 6-3 decision. The three justices dissenting on this, and I'm going off memory here, Alito, Kavanaugh, and Thomas. Yes, Justices Clarence Thomas, Brett Kavanaugh, and Samuel Alito, all dissenting there. It was John Roberts, I believe, who wrote the opinion. Reams?
Major small business group, the Main Street Alliance. They represent about 30,000 small business owners. We're just getting their statement. They are applauding the court's decision and calling for refunds. Quote, the administration framed these tariffs as strengths. What our members experienced was chaos. Rates jumped overnight. No phase in, no planning horizon. The group writing in that statement, adding, the court just reminded everyone that emergency powers are not a blank check. Now the focus should be on refunding the businesses that were effectively taxed under an unlawful framework. That is
wow.
From Main Street Alliance, or an organization that reps 30,000 small business owners, on their reaction to the latest statement. The European Union, we are just also getting in their statement. They're the America's largest trading partner. They're carefully analyzing today's ruling. Quote, we remain in close contact with the U.S. administration as we seek clarity on the steps they intend to take in response to this ruling. That's according to Olaf Gill, the European Commission's trade spokesperson. They negotiate international trade matters on behalf of the EU's 27 member countries. So this is going to be a major international impact.
Yeah, and potentially could be tied up in the courts for a while after getting this opinion. Reams, the Treasury says they collected more than $133 billion from the import taxes that the president had imposed under the Emergency Powers Act. So we're talking about some big money here in play, and the administration may at least attempt to find another way to keep the tariffs going.
And something the president has also said in the past year that he has been in office is that he's kind of doled out. He's talked about those facts of the tariffs have been bringing in a certain amount of money, and has been promising refunds, bailouts, rebates to different smaller groups based off of those tariff refunds. So potentially he's been promising money that could now be having to go back to consumers.
Interesting. Okay. It's far from over, folks, but that Supreme Court decision coming down 45 minutes ago, President Trump himself said it could be one of the most important Supreme Court decisions of his time.